My name is Bryan Kilby. I'm the executive chef here at Pavillon. I actually came in 2008 as a consultant with the task of trying to help elevate the standards or quality of food that was being served to the patients at that time, and was successful in doing so. And then in 2012, I came back and became full-time executive chef here at Pavillon, and I've been here ever since. In being at Pavillon, I learned a lot about addiction just by watching patients, being in the environment, things that I never knew before, opinions that I had that changed because of it. And I learned through the inspiration of patients, the changes that they were making in their lives, that my health also was in question. I weighed a little bit over 300 pounds, and I had an issue with food, sugar specifically. In watching the patients, seeing them get better, seeing them do well, and all at the same time, I'm providing them with nutritious meals and that kind of stuff to help them get better, to help them get more nutritious, get healthier and that kind of stuff, all the while not paying attention to my own health as far as food was concerned. Kind of not practicing what I was preaching. So having inspiration from not just the patients, but my friends, my family, my church family, and support from those people, and the desire to do better for myself, for my girls, for my kids, for my wife, I made a change. I made a conscious change in my life. Basically a complete 180 of my lifestyle across the board in an effort to become more healthy myself, so that I could be there for my kids, my wife, and so I didn't feel like a fraud preaching health and fitness and that kind of stuff to the patients and then not doing it myself on the backside. So I embarked on my journey. You know, started at a small gym in Hendersonville. Also started with cutting out sodas and, you know, ice cream at night and donuts at night, and, you know, all those things that I was mostly the sugar part of it that I felt like I was addicted to. Cut all that stuff out. Started going to this little gym called the Pump House in Hendersonville and walking on a treadmill, and I lost like 40 pounds in no time. But, you know, fast forward a little bit, not realizing that I was incorporating 12-step practices. You know, I was still learning through that whole time that that's actually what I was doing. So several years ago, Orrin came to me and asked me if I'd be willing to share my story. He kind of had heard through the grapevine what I had done, what I'd been through and that kind of stuff, and knew that it would be inspirational. So he asked me if I would come and share with the patients. So I did. And it gave me a outlet to talk about what I'd done, what I'd been through, and those kinds of things, to inspire the patients, but not just that, to connect with them as well. So 4 years later now, and I do it every 6 weeks. It's become, I think, a pretty significant part of what the patients hear when they're here at Pavillon, and I enjoy doing it. It helps keep me motivated, it helps keep me inspired, it helps keep me honest, and, you know, it's awesome. I love doing it. So now, basically, day in the life for me, I get up in the mornings, first spend time with God and reading my Bible, not regretting, you know, a half-gallon of ice cream or 12 donuts the night before, and, you know, feeling like trash when I wake up the next morning, you know. So, you know, I have that time with God and get myself ready, head to the gym. I go to the 5:45 class, so I'm at the gym by 5:30 every morning. There's probably 15 people in our 5:45 class. We're just a big, kind of a big happy family. Everybody kind of has seen what I've gone through and that kind of stuff. Some of them are going through or have gone through the exact same thing. So it's kind of like a big 12-step recovery meeting almost. We just, you know, we all support each other. We've all been there, done that, the same kind of stuff, and and we just love each other. We take care of each other and support and encourage and inspire on a daily basis, you know, cheering each other on and that kind of stuff. Just helping each other, you know, be successful in our health and fitness. Finish up at the gym, I head straight to work from there to come and, you know, finish up what needs to be done for breakfast and get that put out, and then serve and make eggs and stuff. As far as the patients and as far as their nutrition and that kind of stuff is concerned, I spend a lot of time really doing what I call big picture menu planning. I don't just think of, oh, this will be good for this day and this will be good for this day. I'm thinking of the whole week. I'm thinking of not just what's going to be healthy for them, what's going to be tasty for them and that kind of stuff, but what's also going to give them comfort, help them, you know, be okay with being in rehab, being away from their friends and family and that kind of stuff. And I want them to feel like nutritiously they're at least taken care of in that regard, and it's just something that they don't have to worry about. They can come in, they can eat. If anybody has questions, if anybody has special dietary needs and that kind of stuff, allergies, then we do what we can to work around those and keep them fed nutritiously and you know, make them happy. That's kind of what I feel like our goal here is to do, is to shine a bit of happiness and, you know, love and compassion and that kind of stuff in their time here. I mean, we're basically, I mean, it's 3 meals a day, you know, 3 meals a day, it's 3 deadlines a day, 8, 12, and 5, and, you know, there's not a whole lot of time in between where it's not us doing food prep or any of that kind of stuff. So we're constantly working, hard working, preparing food, cooking food, all those things for the patients, all while trying to be as mindful as we can with the ingredients that we use, you know, all those things that we know are gonna fuel them, at least nutritionally and in a healthful way, but also we're gonna feed their spirit and their soul at the same time. That's the goal. Not every day, but most days after lunch, that's when we get our break time. So we serve lunch, we clean up, and at 1:30 we take our break time. And you know, not every day is a 2 a day, but you know, at least twice, sometimes 3 times a week, I put on lace up my running shoes, my trail shoes, and I go out and I run on the trail. It's amazing the feeling you get when you're in nature, taking the time to better yourself, and at the same time you're doing it in a place that is as beautiful as it is here, and you realize that you're just enjoying it. It's just fun, it's just good. And that's probably one of the most amazing things for me, is just, you know, all those years of a sedentary lifestyle, of not doing anything, you know, fitness wise and that kind of stuff, to turn around and be as into it as I am now, and it being as much of a priority as it is now, my health. I never would have thought that that would be the case at this point, ever in my life, never. So I owe a huge debt of gratitude to Pavillon and to the patients over the last 10.5 years for the inspiration of the location, the motivation of seeing the patients come down and, you know, knowing what they're doing and what they're going through and plugging through it every day, and, you know, and the acceptance of it, you know. It is what it is, and the only person that's going to make it better is me. And if I work hard every day at myself, then all that's going to do is be better for everybody else in the long run. It's going to reflect in my personal life, my home life with my family and my kids. It's going to reflect in my professional life here at Pavillon, and patients seeing me and knowing what I've done, what I've gone through, and knowing that what they're doing isn't in vain, that it's possible, that it's probable even. Yeah. I may do paperwork or something like that on my lunch break, but you know, we get back in the kitchen and we start preparations for dinner, and we get dinner all put together and everything. We serve at 5, so I'm usually heading out by 5:30, somewhere around there. I know when I leave here at 5 or 5:30 or whatever time it is that my staff is going to do as good a job as I would do or better with the patients and caring for them and providing for them and serving a great dinner meal. So when I get home, that's what it is. I get home, I pull in the driveway, and then it's real relaxed time. Sitting outside, messing with the garden, mowing, whatever. Yeah, those are the times in the evenings when I get home and it's just kind of wind down time, hanging out with the girls, hearing about their day, telling about my day, if anything cool or fun or whatever has happened, and then as we wind down throughout the evening, then we put the girls to bed and say our prayers with them. Spend the last few minutes talking about the day and that kind of stuff, and then pray about any of those things, anything negative that could have happened throughout the day or whatever with them or with me or whatever, or giving praise for the great things that happen. None of it comes from us. They're all blessings from God.